Hello and welcome to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chwara. I'm the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is dedicated to creating healthier, happier, and well-grounded communities, societies, workplaces, most importantly, nations. Today, I want to thank you for joining me once more. I can't believe we're already midway into February, and I want to talk about why presence, curiosity, and openness matter more than you actually think. Let me start with something very simple. You see, life doesn't ask you to have everything figured out. No, it often asks you to be present. And yet, presence is one of the hardest things to practice. Yes, you heard it from me. Because we are often living ahead of ourselves. We are constantly planning, anticipating, we're worrying as well. Or even behind ourselves, we are replaying things, we are regretting, and we're explaining ourselves. And somewhere in between all of this, life is happening. And here's the quiet truth I want to share with you today. Some of the most important moments of your life will never announce themselves. They won't come with big decisions to be made. They won't feel dramatic. They will just look ordinary. At the very beginning of this week, I had one of the most surreal, memorable, and incredible start to my week. I did something with my partner that I wouldn't normally do. We went all the way out of town. We traveled to Fort Williams. We went by night, came back by day. And it was just the most beautiful scenic for our train journey. I never stopped being in awe of all of the amazing landscapes that I never knew surrounded us in Scotland. It was beautiful. No big decisions had been made together. No drama, just an ordinary day with extraordinary, memorable moments. You see, a conversation, a passing comment, a small act of kindness, even sometimes a moment where you choose to listen instead of rush. You may never know how deeply that moment mattered to someone else. See, life requires three things over and over again. Just three things. Only three things. Your presence, curiosity to want to know more, openness. You see, presence keeps you here, right here with me, right now. That's presence. Curiosity keeps you learning, wanting to know more, wanting to dig deeper and further and wider. Openness is what keeps you connected. Without them, sometimes life becomes too narrow, too predictable, and quietly something begins to happen. Disconnection. Allow me to paint a little picture here. There's someone who almost didn't go to a meeting one day. They were tired, distracted, and busy in their mind, in their heads. But they decided they would go. They stayed in the present. During that meeting, they noticed someone quiet at the table, completely disengaged, completely disconnected, just unseen. Afterwards, they asked a simple question. How are you finding things? Nothing special, nothing strategic there, nothing psychological, no neuroscience, just how are you finding things? Years later, that person will tell them this. That was the first time I felt like I belonged in that space. Thank you. That person had no idea when they asked that question. And you see, this is how life works. You don't always see the impact you're leaving, but that doesn't mean it's not real, okay? Curiosity actually changes everything. Curiosity keeps you from assuming things. It keeps you from flattening people into labels. Let's not do that. It keeps you from missing the depth in front of you. You see, when you're curious, you ask, what's going on for you? What am I not seeing here? You ask yourself, what could this become even if I just stayed in the present right now? What could this be even if I just looked through that door? What could this be even if I just helped a little bit? And curiosity does something powerfully psychological. It calms the nervous system. It opens the mind. And it does something that I love to say. It creates psychological safety. It creates safety within you. People open up when they feel genuinely seen. Not analyzed, not fixed, not rushed. When they see that you see them, I see you. I always have this thing I say to people when they're talking. And I'm trying to listen. And I know we're not on the same page, but I'm trying to get, I say, I hear you. I hear you. Because I am trying. I hear you. I'm giving you my presence. I hear you. I want to be curious. Carry on talking. Let me hear. Openness is the courage to actually allow life to surprise you. You see, to meet people without deciding who they are first, to enter rooms without no defense, to hold opinions without gripping too tightly to them, and being able to let go when it's required. You see, openness doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. It means you have, or shall I say that, it means that you lack that rigidness that other people have. And rigid people rarely, very rarely notice the quiet miracles happening around them. I pray that flexibility finds you wherever you are. And here's something worth sitting with, if I may share. You see, you will never fully know whose life you're touching at any given moment. The encouragement you offer casually, the patience that you show on people's difficult days, the grace that you extend when you could have withdrawn. Do you hear this? Those things echo. They speak back at some point in our lives. You know, my mom used to say something. My mom taught me so many things. Probably 3/3 of what I have become is probably my mom into morphing. My sister says I'm slowly becoming my mom. My brother says, oh God, you look scarily like mommy. You see, my mom used to say this, just says, be careful how you move through the world. You're always walking through someone else's story. You are always walking through other people's stories. Be careful how you maneuver through life. Be present so that you can read those small cues. Be curious to ask how they are. Do you hear this? Be curious. But in the same breath, be open, very open to the miracles that sometimes lay before you, if only you're open enough. You see, what she meant, in fact, what my mom meant was sometimes you don't even know who's watching how you handle pressure. Sometimes you don't know who's learning from your restraints when things were so bad and somebody needed to stay calm. You don't know who is gaining courage from your kindness. Your presence matters, even when no one else says so. I am telling you, your presence matters. From a psychological perspective, this is so powerful, Very powerful. Humans are wired for connections. We regulate each other emotionally. You see, that's why in a household, in a workplace, when leaders are affected, they affect others. When leaders are affected, they affect others or effect change. Positive, probably negative. A calm presence can steady someone else. A curious question can actually get somebody to unlock themselves or unlock something that they have been meaning to tell somebody or wanting to tell somebody. And an open posture can make other people feel safe. You don't need platforms to influence lives. You just need to show up. You just need to be present, but fully present. This is why living in the present matters so much. You see, when we're present, you notice people. When you're present, you catch moments. When you're present, instead of react, you give without performing. You allow life to meet you where you are. You know, we were driving through 5 a few days ago, coming from Creve with Brian, and he told me, Alison, this is where I went to school. After 14 years, this is where I went to school. This is the hospital. Behind here, this building is where I was born. We've traveled this road many times. But in these last few months, he chose to live his life intentionally in the present. And I can tell you, everything that I'm telling you is very true. When you're present, you notice things, you notice the people around you, you notice you're more aware of yourself, of your own emotional regulation. You respond instead of reacting to things. And when you do things, you're very intentional. You mean them. And that is the key here, is that you begin to let life meet you where you are. Life comes to meet you where you are, not where you think you should be. It aligns with you. Life begins to align. Let me say this gently. You don't have to change the world, the whole of the world today, but you might change someone's day. You may change someone's day. You may change someone's whole wide world by just being present. And sometimes that's how the world changes anyway. So here's my invitation. Please slow down when you can. Those little ones around your house, hug them, spend time with them, tell them how proud you are of them. Be present for them. Those colleagues that have just started new in your office, take time, slow down. Maybe they're sitting by themselves in the tea room. Walk through and ask how they are. Maybe you're a leader that is asking your staff to work so late. Surprise them with pizzas, dinner in the office. But also, look people in the eye. Ask more questions. And stay open a little longer than feels comfortable. Be present. I urge you to be curious. And I pray that you will be more open. Because life is happening in these moments. Within these 3 moments. In your presence, in your curiosity, and your openness. And you are part of someone else's story. Whether you realize it or not. And do you ever wonder whether the small things do matter? I want you to trust this. Nothing done with presence is wasted. Nothing done with presence is wasted because you're allowing your energy to sync with that person. Nothing offered with curiosity is forgotten because you evoke things in others that they've forgotten about themselves or their meaning to tell somebody. Nothing given with openness is insignificant. Next time, I wanted to talk about how to stay open without burning out, because that also can be the biggest problem. And I want to talk about how to give without losing yourself. But for now, I urge you to move and stay awake to the moments in your life. And remember, you matter more than you know. So, while you matter more than you know, I want you to always start by asking yourself simple things every day. What is our life asking of me on a daily basis? Life is asking you to be present. Because somewhere in between our busyness and replaying and trying to explain ourselves and worrying, life somewhere is actually happening. Life is actually happening in these moments. So you owe it to yourself to stay open to some of these greatest moments in life that will come unannounced, that will come with no decisions at all. They just happen. Have you ever been in positions and situations where you say, things happened at the right time, at the right moment, in the right hour? I'll tell you why. Because you were present. You were open to possibilities that you didn't plan. You were curious to want to know more. May curiosity, may presence and openness be part of your portion in this new month. And may you experience extraordinary moments. And may you discover the most important moments when you choose to live in the present. And may the universe favor you. From me to you, from Human Focus Limited to your household, to your organizations, to your nations, communities, it's goodbye for this week. Until next Wednesday, tune in again. Ciao for now.
Hello, and welcome to our podcast.